What is going on, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me. And welcome, happy Thanksgiving, one and all, at least to Americans who celebrate Thanksgiving on this day. If you don't celebrate on this day, well, then, whatever, you're wrong. Uh, so, hope you're doing well. My lovely wife is approximately 15 feet away from me right now, busily preparing the turkey. And it is the smallest turkey I think we've ever prepared. However, it is still approximately 5 times bigger than T'Pring, right? Yeah. So, and Kronos, you are not banned. I only ban people under very specific circumstances, and saying first is not one of those circumstances. But welcome, one and all. So Kronos was first. Thomas is here. Mountains of Elysium is here. Richie Poole is here. And look at who's here. Bird O Prey 5. How you doing, Bird?
Hello, world.
How you doing, the mighty bird?
The mighty bird has sunk to taking, what's those called?
You must
prednisone.
You must hate this holiday.
The mighty bird has sunk to taking steroids today.
You know what? Hey, here's a funny coincidence. I am taking steroids as well. Here's my steroid pack right here.
You're on the pack of steroids.
I am.
Why is that? Despite me being obviously the complete opposite to you in every way,
that you and I are
ourselves on the same medications so often.
I don't know, because we both have neurological problems. You know.
So why are they giving it to you?
My doctor is attempting to combat the reoccurring severe migraines that are actually relatively common with MS. And steroids are one of the ways that they do combat them. So
my doctor is trying to combat a cough.
Wow, with steroids, that's a serious cough.
Yeah.
I must say, I've never had a cough so severe that the doctor went for steroids. Although that doesn't sound very good. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But I know you've been having your share of problems lately. I've had my share of complications recently. So I will tell you right off the bat, since we're doing a Thanksgiving stream, and I don't know what you've talked about with Captain Trek. I know you were just over there, but I am just thankful to be alive right now. It's been a rough year. And
a long road.
It has been a long road for sure. And sometimes, you know, after a year like this, it's just nice to know that you're still kicking, you know. So, and I'm thankful that you are still kicking as well, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Because, you know, as long as you're still alive, then I can say, hey, I could always be a little bit worse and still be alive.
That's true.
So, and so, what else have you been up to besides having a extremely nasty cough that requires steroids?
Well, we're found out that nephew O'Prey has hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Now, what is that exactly? I mean, I've heard that term, but
yeah, apparently it's a lot scarier than it sounds. But it's not pleasant. He's got sores on his hands, feet, and mouth.
Is it because he's sticking his hands and his feet in his mouth?
No, it doesn't come from the mouth. It's from being around others the same. It's a very contagious disease amongst babies.
So he gave it to
Usually
you, or
comes
you gave it
from-
to him?
No, not neither way. He got it from being in a daycare setting, and it just blows through the daycare. And worse, the daycare was aware that they had it.
Oh man, and they didn't warn everybody?
Well, they didn't realize it at the time. They got notification after he left for the day.
And by the way, Mr. Captain, thank you, said happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans. Tristan says happy American Thanksgiving. You guys have the wrong date. No, you have the wrong date. You confuse Thanksgiving and Halloween up there. You guys are idiots. And Mountains of Elysium says, Bird of Prey 5, the best cure for a cough is max strength laxatives. There is no way you will let a cough loose after downing one of those bad boys. And I think my wife likes that one.
It sounds like Mrs. Salty.
I don't know if you could hear my wife. She's busting up laughing
did,
after
yes.
that. That's true, man. You take a bunch of laxatives and then you will just not cough. Yeah. View from Lookout says, hey. Mike Richards here from Columbus, Ohio. Donnie says hello. And Thomas says, is your wife making turkey in the microwave? No, my mom has passed away. We no longer have turkey microwave. But wow. That's the best comment, though, of the day. Cure for a bad cough, laxatives. Whew. All right. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bird. And guys, if you want to join in, you know, the link is pinned in the chat there. So go ahead, Bird.
No, you didn't interrupt.
Oh. It's your floor right now.
Yeah, but you, it was funny.
Yeah. And by the way, babe, people are saying hi to you. She says hello. And she says happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And Bird is kind of singing happy Thanksgiving in a sickly kind of way.
Oh my God.
Well, do you want me to turn on the speakers so she can hear you kind of sing happy Thanksgiving to her? Because that was...
You want to put on the camera and I'll sing happy Thanksgiving.
Well, she's busy cooking. She's not going to come on camera.
Well, we can watch her cook.
No, you can't watch her cook because the camera won't point that way.
You could point the camera that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. And I see Kronos is going to lurk for just a second and then probably disappear. And hey, Gorilla is there in there. And
Hey there.
Kronos says, gobble, gobble, that is all. Hey, Kronos.
Richie Poole, I will do a Discovery review. I just don't know when.
So I don't know if you saw my discussions on the first episode. I haven't watched the second episode yet. Is it aired yet?
Yes.
Okay. And I have not watched the first episode of Hawkeye yet. We'll probably do that when we eat our turkey.
What's Hawkeye about?
I don't know yet. I haven't watched it yet. So
I thought maybe you'd have a general description.
well, my idea, all I know is that for whatever reason, Hawkeye, there's like a girl that wants to be like Hawkeye, and Hawkeye teams up with her on a mission. That's all I know.
Oh, okay.
And so, it looks like it's done with a fun, lighthearted style. It's not meant to be, it's not going to be very serious in tone like Falcon and Winter Soldier was. It's going to be done in a more lighthearted style, which I'm totally fine with. But that's all I know about it. But as far as episode 1 of Discovery, I don't know. I didn't watch your review yet, Bird, but I was going to ask you what you thought of it because I just kind of thought it was there. It wasn't particularly offensive, but it
No,
wasn't
you're right.
particularly good either.
That's where I ended up.
Yeah,
It wasn't their worst episode,
right.
but it was far from their best episode.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, episode 2, I think, is
More
one of
along
the
the
most
classic
boring.
Discovery, or
Well, yeah, certainly classic in that their terrible writing is all over the place. The story that makes no sense, is front and center again. Basically, how you can have 7 signals appearing at the same time, but also you have to wait for the signals to appear.
right. So like
you
just
know,
bad writing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Terrible writing. So I don't want to.
And I see Thomas
Well.
and John both said that they're the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye dropped, and John said they're not bad. So looking forward to it. Also, Professor, did you see Professor Brainy Specs wants us to come on to a question of Trek? I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
Yes. So and so,
Why-
Professor, why don't you come on to the panel right now and talk to us about it? And John, you should come on and give us a spoiler-free review of the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. Look at that. See, here I am trying to bring the community together. I'm that kind of guy. But so, Indy,
Hello.
what are you thankful for right now?
I'm thankful for my house and my family and my job and you guys.
Aw. I know you're just throwing us in because you're on my show, but, that's okay.
Yeah, because,
You gotta kiss up to,
gotta kiss up to the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good list. That is definitely a good list. How about you, Captain Trek?
Well, I am thankful I'm thankful to be here.
Mhm.
I'm thankful.
Hey, you had a rough go for a while there, so you got, I know you got some stuff to be thankful for.
I'm glad that things are looking up now.
Mhm.
Gonna have to go to a new doctor, but hey, that's gonna be fun. But at least it's got hope there, so that's a good thing.
Yes. And I will tell you, seeing a new doctor, while it can sometimes be frustrating, it can also be a huge step in the right direction. You guys know, I've been seeing doctors for a very long time for chronic pain. And then in April, I busted an eardrum and saw an ear, nose, throat specialist for the busted eardrum, who then referred me to go see a neurologist. And I'm like, I don't want to go see a neurologist. I mean, come on. I've already seen way too many doctors. And it turned out to be the best thing ever because, even though, thanks to that, I'm now technically unemployed and, dealing with stuff I really did not think I would be dealing with this year. I also now know what the problem is and hopefully have a path set in my life that will put me in a positive direction because I saw the right doctor. So
Yeah, it's rough when you're first diagnosed because you really feel like a guinea pig if they're trying to figure out exactly what's wrong, and it's one test after another.
Oh, which, by the way, I just got my official diagnosis of MS like 3 days ago. And so it's no longer clinically isolated syndrome. It is now officially MS, which should help the Social Security go through faster.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's absolutely good news. I have the official diagnosis.
Right. I mean, it doesn't change the way I feel. It just does.
No.
It does make it so that it opens up avenues of it. Also helps the pain management people as far as being able to be a little more aggressive as far as what drugs they can try as far as pain mitigation and stuff like that. Which they did try. Oh man, this last week they put me on this drug that my wife actually takes for her seizures, and I will tell you, I will never take that drug again. It was just like it's funny because I took it for like 3 or 4 days, and I was like, no, I will not. Unfortunately, it was an optional drug. And so now it's like my wife was like, well, I'll take it as a spare, so that she has it in case she ever has trouble refilling her prescription. Because but it knocked me completely for a loop.
That was my first medication when I started having seizures. It was bad. It was way bad.
I was like, I could barely walk straight. I couldn't stay. I mean, like, I'd be sitting here working on my, you guys know I've been working on making all the big sword fight at the end of Day of the Dove into a lightsaber duel, and I'd be sitting here working on it, and then just next thing I know, I'm asleep. And I couldn't stay awake. It was like it felt like I was narcoleptic. It was crazy.
Yeah, sounds like Dilantin to me. That's what happened.
I don't think it was Dilantin, but I don't know what it was. Lamictal, she says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so,
my current medicine is much better.
So, that was, but that stuff just absolutely was crazy. Then she gave me another one that I'm trying out now that at least it doesn't knock me out. But it's not quite as effective on the pain, but it's also doesn't turn me into a zombie. So we'll see how that goes over the course of the next couple of weeks. How about you, Gorilla? What are you thankful for? I guess napping.
No, I had to go do something. Nah, well, I'm thankful for my kids there.
Absolutely.
I guess I'm thankful that at least I'm on good terms with Owen's mom there, even though we're not together anymore. I'm thankful for some of the stuff I have. I'm thankful I found some people that think like me here in this community. And then you got introduced to some more people through you guys there.
I'm even thankful for the people that don't think like me, but we can at least get along.
Well, no, but a lot of us, we may have different thoughts on certain subjects, but we all get along and not sit there and be like, F you, I'm never talking to you again just because you have like a different opinion.
Exactly.
Right. And
that's kind of like what I meant.
Right. And that's what's more important to me is that we can, even when we disagree passionately, and sometimes get on each other's nerves, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, y'all have gotten on my nerves a couple of times, like this last Sunday. Now, and I will tell you, part of the reason I got so agitated on Sunday was the medication, but also part of it was the fact that I just didn't want to talk about a subject, and people kept asking about the subject. And it's like, come on, guys, I don't want to talk about it. And people just kept asking about it and wouldn't leave it alone.
And it's like, Salty Tracker went off. Time to start the stream early.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the issue is that YouTube was like 30 seconds behind Streamlabs there.
Right.
But also some people might pause it while they're doing something, real quick, get back.
But the problem was that even when it first came up, I said, look, I don't want to talk about it, but here's, since you asked, here's what I thought. And here's my opinion on it. That's all I'm going to say about it. right?
it
But
kept
then
going on
people
and-
start, well, but I want to argue with you about it. I don't want to argue about it. If you want to argue about it, take it to a channel where they want to argue about it. That's not my topic of debate. I'll debate with you about how a warp drive operates. I'm not going to debate with you on that topic, okay?
Yeah.
That's
Salty,
yes.
Salty, what are you most thankful for?
Honestly, that I have the best wife on the planet because she has put up with my craziness this last year. I have been so difficult because I've been physically inept, mentally, oh, geez, just, normally, I'll be honest, I normally I'm a fairly sharp guy mentally. It's
Correct.
been, but my mental faculties have been declining rapidly this year, and I will tell you, there's nothing scarier than not just losing your mental faculties, but feeling it. And fortunately, the Copaxone, which is another thing, and by the way, I'm very thankful for, is the drug Copaxone. The Copaxone, the injection that I'm taking, it slows down the degradation, and I can feel that it's slowed it down, that I'm no longer feel like I'm just declining, but I can definitely feel I'm not where I was. And so I have to stop and think about very basic things, like what day of the week is it? I have to think about, what do I have to do today? What time is it? Very basic stuff. And it sounds silly, but it's weird. One of the things that they did when they tested me initially was ask me, okay, what's the date? And I was like, oh, well, today is the 27th. Why? And they're like, no, it's the 29th. And I'm like, no, it's not. And so that was one of the key factors when where they say that's one of the signs that the MS is affecting your cognitive abilities. And so I'm actually going in a couple of days before Christmas, not going in, but we're doing it virtually online, where they're going to do a full day. It's going to be like an 8-hour day of cognitive batteries to see how much my abilities have been impaired by all this. And that kind of thing, I know how much it's impacted her. I know that, I can only imagine how much it's affected her to see me affected, both physically and mentally. Not to mention the fact that, I'm not working. I feel like, any guy who's used to supporting their family and now I can't work, and it's like, but she's been right there by my side, and not, like there's so many women that would just be like, well, you're not a man anymore. I'm out of here. There's so many women that would just like turn their back on their husbands at a point like this. And she's not that kind of person. And so the number one thing I'm thankful for is her. The next in line would be our church. Our church has been, they've paid our mortgage a couple of months in a row. They've made it very clear that whatever happens, they will help us get through it. If, as time goes on, whatever we have to do to, we're going to probably, like I said, we're about 90%, we're going to have to sell the house, because even if we could manage to skimp out a budget to where we could keep the house, it's like, okay, are we going to scrape out every last dime so we can pay the mortgage, or are we going to have a more comfortable budget to where we don't have a mortgage? Does it make more sense? We haven't, but our church is willing to help us get through whatever situation we have to. They've been very supportive of us, and they've helped us out tremendously already, and they've made it clear that they're not going to let us end up on the streets. And you guys, you guys have helped out immensely multiple times, and you still do. And so those of you that support us through Patreon and the website and stuff, all I can say is thank you. I know that the super chat thing sucks because I know a lot of you like to do the super chat thing, but I just can't do that because YouTube sucks, and I can't do ad revenue because YouTube sucks, and that hurts. But YouTube sucks. That just.
So a couple. First, Donnie Pearson is saying hi to all of us. So hi, Donnie Pearson.
Hey, Donnie.
And speaking of support, what is your Patreon?
It should be in the description below, but
it is in the description.
Yeah, it's actually called Onyx and Zircon, which is because me and the wife have been, we want to get a separate channel set up called Onyx and Zircon, because there are on YouTube, there's a bunch of channels of these pretty young interracial couples. And it's like, where's the old, been through it interracial couples, right? Because like there's this one that my wife really likes. What are they called again? The one that you really like? Cole and Charisma. Yeah, Cole and Charisma. And they're actually a neat couple, but Cole and Charisma, like Cole is a white guy, Charisma is a black girl. Cole is actually in a wheelchair. And they're neat, but it's like you watch them and it's like, oh yeah, we've been through so much because we're an interracial couple. One time we were in a restaurant and someone looked at us funny,
Yeah. Well, wasn't it like 30 years ago more really uncommon for that though? Like 30, 40 years ago?
Well, that's the difference is what I'm saying is that like when we got together, being married in a interracial couple was illegal in 3 states.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a very different environment when we got together compared to today. And I'm not saying Cole and Charisma haven't been through anything. Don't get me wrong. But to a couple that's 20 years old, they don't understand what a couple that's in their 50s that has basically could be their parents might have been through. And so we were like, you know what, maybe we need to get a channel up there so we can like talk about some of the stuff that's happened back in the 80s and 90s. And so but we haven't gotten it started yet because honestly, a lot of stupid things have gotten in the way, not the least of which is is my health. And so it's still something that we want to do, and it's still something that I plan to do. And hey, Mr. CCDB, how you doing? But what we're gonna and once we settle into like wherever we end up permanently as far as our home, we're gonna set up a place for us to record together to do that. And no, Professor Brainy Specs, we are not in our 5050s. Dang.
Well, you have to keep in mind. This is Salty's like what 50th wife.
Wow. Wow. That's just mean.
Seriously.
What?
We know he's over 5,000 years old.
Yeah. Oh. Because of Laura there, come buy a lottery ticket this week.
Oh.
You mentioned a certain subject there.
But yeah, so that's why. So we were going to call our channel Onyx and Zircon because onyx is a naturally occurring black stone, and zircon is a naturally occurring white stone. And so we just thought that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
So that's long story short. That's the name of our Patreon account.
Yeah, because
Joe
it was
Biden
funny
$1.
and
Happy
it was
Easter,
like,
everyone.
I think
It's a great day to celebrate Jesus' birthday. Well, I'm busy today and grilling a turkey for my
April
family.
of
Hail
2020,
Caroga number
I
22.
signed up for your Patreon, and 2 weeks later I had to get off of it because I had lost my job
Oh man.
and haven't been able to find you since.
Yeah, it is in the description there. It should be in there.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden, thank you, donated $1 and said Happy Easter to everyone. It's great to celebrate Jesus' birthday. Well, I'm busy today grilling a turkey for my family. And
Happy Easter, Joe.
And Hail Caroga, number 22. Wow. Good old Joe. He's just crazy. And unlike Bird of Prey 5, I didn't make the minimum donation $1.49 just to make more profits. So maybe I should.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, Bird is partly Ferengi.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the Karogan in him, Although if he was just being purely Karogan, he'd just make the minimum donation $100. But What? I'm beginning to think that she is like part giraffe because she's got such a ridiculously long neck. She can bend her neck all the way. Look at that. Look, her neck is just so stupid long. You can't hold her in such a way that she can't get to you.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I was gonna smoke a freaking turkey today, but I didn't exactly read the only turkeys they had at Walmart. There was these already flavored ones. I wasn't sure how they taste smoked, so the oven it was.
Well, you could just grab Bird of Prey 5 and smoke him.
Well, we're not getting together until Saturday, so I'm just going to make
have some
pasta with ground turkey.
Pasta with ground turkey? That's going to be your Thanksgiving dinner, really?
That's it, yeah.
That's kind of sad, Andy.
I'm just going for leftovers for 2 weeks here for work.
If it wasn't for the fact that this is one thing that we used to do every now and then that I really enjoyed, and I'd like to do it again if we ever have the energy again, was at our church when we lived in Oregon, we used to kind of take home the strays. Like we'd get the people that didn't have family and have them come over.
That was my mom and dad every Sunday.
Yeah. We don't have much. We don't got it. I don't think anybody here around my area, but of course I'm in a town of 1,500.
And
so
Professor says, "Don't feel bad. I'm 953." Are you saying you're 953 years old, or you're 9, or something else that I'm not sure what you're saying? And Professor, you're supposed to be up here on the panel talking about your big proposal for a Sunday, but you never came up. Still waiting on you, buddy. And
I think he's got a headache.
Yeah, well, you know what the best cure for a headache is? Coming up on the panel.
I thought the best cure was Jack.
I thought it was stretching your neck until you could bite the fingers of
Mr.
your owner.
Mr. Turkey $5. Eat me. Happy Thanksgiving.
And Mr. Turkey donated $5 and says, "Eat me. Happy Thanksgiving." Well, Mr. Turkey, Mr. Turkey's in the oven, right? I hope.
I hear beeping.
Yes, I hear beeping
like,
too.
Sounds like it's going in the oven now.
Yeah. So Mr. Turkey is I hope in the oven.
Nice.
Oh, I seen a meme today that was so inaccurate. There had a picture of 2 dogs eating a turkey leg. They're going, see, the succulent, delicious turkey is worth a couple swipes on the nose with the newspaper. I guarantee if I spent 10 hours cooking a turkey there and the dogs ate it, they'd be getting more than a swipe on the nose with the newspaper. I'll tell you that.
And I see Kronos is back in the backstage again. and
Oh,
says,
yeah.
I have a headache. I feel better now. And, well, welcome, Kronos. One of these days, you're going to actually come back and you're going to come onto the live stream instead of just showing up and leaving a message and disappearing. But that's what he does. Because Kronos is a weirdo.
Well, it's better than some of your other guests you've had to boot as soon as they get on.
Well,
that's
he
true.
is a New Yorker. You know,
Is
you
he?
have to give him that.
I did not know that.
Upstate, but New York, yes.
Well, upstate kind of counts as New York, I guess.
Canada light.
Yeah. I mean, look, I have my mom's entire family is New York, so
Like New York, or actual or state New York.
No, Yonkers, right? Real New York. All right. It's not New York unless it's one of the 5 boroughs. All right. Anywhere else, you're not from New York.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you're from, Long Island or upstate, what? No, you ain't New York. Mm-mm.
Bird, you're in Long Island, aren't you?
Bird's Carogan. He doesn't even count as American.
I thought he had dual citizenship.
No, he just thinks he does. Bird is like, he's the Carogans are like, they basically they think they're allowed in the United States, but they're really just allowed in New York. And that's because New York is so filthy that it's almost like Caroga anyway. It's like, if you've ever been to, New York City, it's like people say, oh, New York, they've really cleaned it up.
I live in Queens,
Yeah.
which is one of the 5 boroughs.
Right. He
Yeah.
thinks he lives in Queens.
Caroga, which is upstate New York. So I have the best of both worlds.
Correct.
I have combined.
So the Borg have attacked you and assimilated you.
No, they scan and pass right by.
Actually, if Bird had been assimilated, he would sing better, according to Voyager.
Okay.
Because that's why 7 and 9 has the voice she does, is because she was assimilated.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that being said. Yeah.
Is that true?
Bird would actually sing better. If he
They
were
said that
assimilated.
7 could sing because she was assimilated?
Yep.
Yeah. There was something. There was something
in the
with her
episode
hearing.
where her and the Doctor sing together. He's introducing her to music. Yes.
Okay.
And she corrects him on pitch or something because she can hear so well.
Wow, I do not remember that at all.
That's a throwaway line. I don't think it had anything to do with the episode necessarily.
That's just, wow. Gotta go figure. So, yeah.
But that's how my brain works. It hangs on to all this useless information.
Well,
Well, that's the same way my brain is now. If it's something important you want me to remember it, think I'll remember it? No. But I can remember the most useless information.
I tell you what, I think I'm seriously, I've had my memory tested a few years ago, and I seriously think it's going. Because I used to be able to remember so many things, and it's like now I try to remember like numbers or something for my job, and a minute later, as I'm trying to type them in, I'm like, oh shit, what was that number again? Shit.
Oh, what do you do for work?
I'm a professional engineer.
Oh, you're an engineer?
Yes, a civil engineer. Yeah.
Okay.
as opposed to an uncivil engineer, which is what they have in Caroga.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
we used to, like in my last job there, we always give the engineers so much crap because like the one engineer that designed half of our machines there, you could tell they're about 3 inches taller than I am just by the way they designed them. They designed everything to their height, not to the average height.
Oh my God! Wow. What do you do?
Well, that was when I was making fishing line and fish bait. Now I just make diesel manifolds.
Wait,
Okay.
you made fish bait?
Yeah.
How do you go from making fish bait to making diesel manifolds? That seems like two completely unrelated professions.
I lost my job because I stuck my hand where it didn't belong there, and they fired me for that, and so I had to get a different job.
That still seems like two completely unrelated professions. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that making fish bait and making diesel manifolds have in common with each other.
Yeah, well, I had to get work there to support my family, so I went.
Sure.
I got hired on at the next job that would take me.
Right, but I mean, don't you need a certain level of skill to make diesel manifolds?
Well, for the job I got hired at, all I had to do was go like this for a while. Now all I have to do is go like this.
Okay.
There's because before I'd have to clean out the inside of the part, but now I'm the inspector and polisher for it.
So you're an inspector and polisher of diesel manifolds.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds weird, but I will.
No, I just gotta make sure they're all done, cleaned out properly, and that they're all nice and smooth for the airflow and that. And then if I'm not inspecting them, I gotta polish them up and make them all nice and shiny for the customers.
Right.
Because they go on. A lot of our manifolds go on show trucks. For like.
Oh, cool.
They're considered a luxury item.
And Kronos says catfish is good because Kronos is insane.
What's wrong with catfish?
Catfish? Well, nothing if you like eating dirt.
Catfish and bullets are the best.
Yeah, if you like eating dirt.
Yeah, cats eat fish, Wesley. That's correct.
I mean, yeah, like I said, if you like eating dirt, catfish is fine.
You just never had the right kind of catfish.
No, catfish tastes like dirt. That period. Catfish, don't try to argue that the catfish tastes good. Catfish tastes like dirt.
You must have had late summer catfish then.
I just had, look. One time people kept saying, "Oh, catfish is good. You've just never tried it," and the truth is, I hadn't had it. But, the wife kept saying, "Ew, catfish is nasty. It tastes like dirt." And I was like, "Oh, come on. Can it really be that bad?" And her family, because, my wife's family's all from the South. And so her family was all like, "No, catfish is great." My wife's like, "No, catfish is nasty. It tastes like dirt." I'm like, "No, come on. Catfish can't be that bad." So I ordered catfish at a good restaurant, and the catfish tastes like dirt. And everybody else like, "Oh, this is great catfish." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? This does taste like dirt. I'm never having catfish again."
Yeah, I've tried catfish myself. I am not a fan.
It tastes like freaking dirt.
Yeah. My brother loves it.
Yeah, people that like catfish just like the taste of dirt.
So I take it that never ate vegetables straight out of the garden either?
But not. I wash it first and cook it.
Wash it. Yeah, you wash it
season
off,
it.
clean it up.
Do I take a carrot out of the ground and then just bite into it? No. You take it, you wash it, you peel it, you dice it, you cook it, you season it. That's how you eat a carrot. You don't just pluck it out of the ground and eat it with the dirt still on it.
You're missing out.
Well, no, I don't like dirt. And actually, I can't eat uncooked vegetables anyway, so,
Wesley doesn't like any fish. Why is that, Wesley?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's allergic.
Well, Wes, why don't you come on to the panel and talk about it? That's why we're here on the Thanksgiving extravaganza. But be sure to put in the chat if you come into the backstage, because I can't always see it because I got, I'm trying to edit Kirk versus Kang here, as you can see. This is tricky stuff here to try and edit around their hands. And
what are you trying to edit?
Well, this okay. So you see this little. This is a mask right here. You see that I'm moving around here. Okay. So I'm carefully covering this is Kirk's sword. And I'm carefully covering Kirk's sword with this mask. Now, the reason that I'm covering Kirk's sword with this mask is that when I apply the pre-made effect that I created down here, see, there's an effect down here that's labeled Kirk. When I turn on that effect, let me turn off the mask and turn on the effect, it becomes a lightsaber.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's why.
You know, that was a kind of a blessing in disguise that last week you couldn't do the.
Yeah, because it means I can do the whole fight instead of just one little part of it. I was going to just do one little part, but yeah, now I'm going to do the whole fight. And I'm also doing Kang's sword as well. In fact, I'll show you if we go to, let me switch projects here. I've actually done a lot of the fight already. And no, I'm not older than dirt. Jeez, John.
We're all made of dirt. Stellar dirt. That's all it is. We're just stardust.
Yeah, according to Carl Sagan, we're star stuff. All right, so
Joe.
Oh yeah, Joe. That's his name. Yeah, Joe. Bird of Prey 5. That is his Klingon name. Do you like? Bird is still sleeping. I'm assuming you still asleep, Bird.
Why is he gonna change his name to Sleep-O-Bird or Sleep-O-Prey 5?
Yeah, no, he should because he always falls asleep.
Oh, world, it's Bird of Prey 5.
I think that's a pretty clever spelling of his name.
Yeah.
I actually like that. I hope Bird appreciates it because I thought of that and I was like, oh, that's a perfect spelling for his name. I also, by the way, came up with a great spelling for Kang's ship, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, Kronos, Joe, because Bird's name is Joe. But you see, this is the middle of the fight here. So you can see, and when the sabers actually make contact, let's see if we can. I don't want to.
Oh, nice. Oh,
yeah.
That's
lens flare.
Lens flare and sparks. We're gonna do the whole 9 here. But let me go to. Let's see. We need. Is it the Star Trek? Yeah, Star Trek 6. I think is the one we want. Looking for the one that has the entire episode. Yeah. So Day of the Dove. And yes, the energy monster is, of course, Matthew.
Yeah.
That's what I'm laughing about.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not asleep.
Oh, hey.
And Mama Prey was taking what you were saying. Very unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, did you like the way I spelt your name?
I didn't get to see it.
It was JOGH apostrophe.
Okay.
That's the Klingon spelling of your name.
I'm down with that.
I thought you might like that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
And let's see.
What did Professor Brainy Specs ever say?
He didn't come on yet.
When are we going on?
I don't know. That's the thing. I know he wants us to come on.
When does my public need me?
I don't know if he's still here or not. Professor, are you still on, or if you're still there? Let's see.
Well, since Matthew works in or lives in Texas, there I got the two perfect movies for Tornado Awareness Month.
What's that?
You got Stonado and Atomic Twister.
Stonado?
Yeah, it's about these tornadoes that form over these volcanic vents. And here, I'll be right back to explain it.
Ah, here it is. Here it is. All right, you ready for this, Bird? You're going to love this.
I'm here.
All right. So, the official name of Kang's battle cruiser. All right. You ready for this, Indy?
Yep.
All right. I want you to. Oh, let me see. Someone's making a donation.
Ghost
first.
_of_a_goat $3.
Hey, number one.
For
Oh, the
Noef's
goat.
giving in Slovakia, they slaughtered me. Keep me in your prayers.
Oh no, they slaughtered the goat in Slovakia. So for the no F's giving in Slovakia, the no F's giving in so they have a holiday in Slovakia called no F's giving. They slaughter goats. So keep me in your prayers. Well, the goats. So traditional meal and for no F's giving is goats. That sounds like Slovakia. Sorry. And so in that case, well, ghosts of a goat, you should come on the panel. All right. So Indy, I want you to read the name of Kang's ship. All right.
Okay.
All right. So
Out loud?
Yes, of course. And it'll be at the bottom of the screen, not the top. The top part of the screen, ignore. Okay.
Okay.
And so, let's see, add to stream. There it is.
Received a detailed IKS Garoga. Garoga. All hail Garoga.
What do you think, Bird?
I like it.
There you go.
Love it.
So, anyhow, on that Stonado there that I was talking about, these tornadoes form off the coast of Boston there, and they pick up these stones. I think if I remember right, it's from volcanic events, and as they move inland, they start tossing these stones around.
Oops.
Then they got to use an untested weather manipulation to try to stop them.
Huh, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, it's a 2013 film. The Atomic Twister was from 2002. It's actually based in West Tennessee there, where a tornado hits a nuclear power plant there, and they got to try to. Then the one guy he fucks up, and then they got to stop the nuclear power plant from exploding. Only they get hit by another tornado.
Although I think me and Matthew have watched enough tornado-based movies.
Did you go through the entire Sharknado series?
We did. We watched all 6 of them. And welcome to the Random Menace. How you doing?
Greetings from the future.
How is your sheep milk?
Sheep milk, goat milk, no.
Yeah,
goat cheese and I sent you picture of cheeses.
I know.
Wow,
that's like, just crazy. You have like a whole goat cheese section in your supermarket.
It's like a selection. Here in Europe, when we have one product, we don't dedicate to one type of product like whole aisles.
Well,
we know when to stop eating.
Right, but like in the United States, you'll find like 1 or 2 maybe kinds of goat cheese in a supermarket, and there you have.
Okay, this was okay. Here you find definitely a wider selection.
Yes,
like
yeah.
5 or 6 kinds. But I sent a picture of those cheeses just because there were the pictures of the animals on those. Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm sure you really enjoy. Just
so I was like, okay, I need to take this picture and send it over to you. I did it directly in the supermarket.
I'm sure everybody's like looking at you like, why is he, why is he all excited about the goat cheese? I mean, this is something we all look at every day. Do you have like we have stores in the U.S., very popular large chain called Costco. And at Costco, one of the things that Costco is known for is at the end of the aisles, they do samples. So, like, they'll have people at these little stands and they'll give out samples of stuff. So, do you have like stores where they'll be like at the end of the aisles with actual goats and they'll like squirt it into your hands and you can just like slurp it out of your hands?
Slurp it and no. But actually, what we have in the village here, or where I live, we have something like a vending machine for milk, and now cow milk.
Okay.
Like normal milk, but it's really like fresh milk. They milk the cows in the morning, and they just chill it down.
Picturing a vending machine with actual live goats.
With actual live cow.
like in the vending machine is a cow and a goat and a sheep, and you hit the button and it just starts, milking that animal.
A cow.
You put a cup under it.
And what they do, they fill the vending machine sometimes like twice a day with like chilled, unprocessed milk. So it's really like when you bring it home, you should really pasteurize it.
So they should just like put the cow in a coat. It's really cold. Put the udder on ice.
So those are like fun facts.
Wow,
because before there was the vending machine, you could go actually to the farm, and but it was like in the morning between 6 and 8 they were selling milk in bottles, like glass bottles.
Now for you, this is just on normal Thursday, right?
For me, just a normal Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like I assume, I know you do international business, but I assume that like for the countries that you work with, this isn't a special day for anybody.
No, not at all. Because Thanksgiving today is basically only for the United States. The only thing was that the emails that I sent to my colleagues in the United States, I expect the answers coming only tomorrow.
Are you going to tomorrow or Monday? Because a lot of
on Monday.
Yeah, yes. I was going to say a lot of American corporations are closed for the entire weekend.
Yeah. Usually, right now, anyway, 90% of the companies anyway working from home.
Yeah.
At least the jobs that can work from home, they are people are working. So usually, even when I have like when I'm working from home.
Happy Thanksgiving, boys!
Hey, Kermit.
Hi,
Hey, Kermit.
Yeah. So
hold on, Kermit. Joseph's talking right now.
Yeah. So I just check my emails for 1 hour or so, even when there's something like when I have some day off. No. Number one sci-fi.
Oh, number one disappeared. Okay, I thought
number one sci-fi disappeared. Yeah. Okay, that's from me. And Kermit, happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving, Kermit.
Happy Thanksgiving.
They released a new South Park episode last night.
I have not watched that show in quite a while. Honestly,
it was the end. It was a. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say. I think
it was the end of the.
No, go ahead. The end of the pandemic. Is that what you're going to say?
It was the end of the pandemic special.
Okay. Yeah, South Park to me had really started to go downhill with the pandemic special. And actually maybe a little bit before that. I think they just started to get crude just to be crude. Which I'm not into. Like, I think when they make a good point with some of their stuff, I really enjoy it. But when...
and they have.
Well, sometimes they do, but lately, to me, it's been less of that and more, let's just be gross to be gross.
Hey, but I thought they're crude way before that. They got by with the one episode where they said the N word about 50 times?
I don't remember them saying the N word 50 times, but
they did that episode and then created a demon or something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, it's the F word.
I remember them saying the S word like 50 times.
No,
but
it was one of those words.
Yeah, I remember.
They created a demon or something.
Well, no, I remember.
I vaguely remember that.
I remember when they just had a word where, or an episode where they just said the S word. Actually, it was more like well over 100 times, where they were just like, because basically Comedy Central just basically said they're not going to hold that word as a word that they're going to care about anymore, as far as their standards and practices. And so they were like, oh, cool. So then they're just going to cram it into the dialogue as much as possible. And so they did an episode where like every line of dialogue had it in there, and they just said it over and over and over and over. And in fact, I remember Mr. Garrison walking down the street singing it as a song. That song.
Only South Park.
That song intercut with the F word for homosexual. And I honestly,
the FAG word.
Yes, and it was funny, but to me that kind of humor is kind of pointless. It's just
not everyone finds their humor funny.
Well, like I said, I it's funny, but is there a like the where South Park really hits home for me, when South Park does well, is when they really drive home a great point. Like when they did their Buck Rogers parody, when Cartman froze himself and ended up in the future, and the Richard Dawkins married Mrs. Garrison, and because of them being married, the world became atheist. And in the future, different groups of atheists were killing each other over their version of atheism.
Yes,
and you found out it was really just human nature that people were killing each other. It wasn't because of religion. It was just because of people.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, but it also made
but they were fighting beavers.
Right, but it made the larger point that it was funny, but it was making the larger point that it was basically criticizing the religious argument that religion is the cause of humanity killing each other. No, humans are. And that
did you see that episode where the Danish, I think it was, did the tried to troll the world or whatever?
I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
And then one of the boys' fathers was an online troll, and he ended it.
I vaguely remember, I know that Stan's dad has done all sorts of stuff.
I don't explain stuff right.
That's all right. And I remember Stan's dad was also Lord at one point, which was hilarious.
I remember that vaguely.
And I remember that Lord had a great sense of humor about it, where she said, "Oh, I've been outed." But I don't remember that one specifically.
But in this special, because the pandemic was over, people burned the Zoom headquarters or Zoom facility to the ground.
Zoom is in the Microsoft Zoom.
Like everyone uses.
Right.
That was a meta joke. And it lasted several decades.
Well, my favorite thing that they've done recently is the fact that Jeff Bezos is a Telosian. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but yeah, Jeff Bezos is in fact a Telosian.
In this in Inside Job show, They killed Jeff Bezos.
I didn't see that one. Is that you're talking about on South Park?
No, a different show.
Oh well, yeah, I don't know that show.
Because it was an accident, but they laughed anyway.
Yeah, that show, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, so what are you thankful for, Kermit?
Everything that I have.
Fair enough. And how about you, Joseph? I know you don't believe in Thanksgiving because you're a filthy Slovakian, but
I don't need a Thanksgiving. I don't need a day to be thankful for what I have.
Like I said, filthy Slovakian. But
yeah.
But what are you thankful for?
Hey! Don't degrade our foreign friends.
Well, he admitted it himself. I mean, the man drinks goat milk right out of the teat. I mean, you can't get much filthier than that.
It's okay, Kermit.
That's not filthy. That's a regional thing or a country thing. Some things that we do would probably disgust other people.
I'm sure, but they would be wrong about that. Nah,
my point.
But Kermit, first of all, Joseph knows whenever I say stuff like that I'm only messing with him.
It's really just a banter, you know. Someone has goats, somebody has MS. You know, it's
same thing. Yeah,
it's still not very nice.
Never mind. Literally, Kermit is just banter between friends. It's all okay. Really.
I know it is, and still not nice.
Actually, it is, but
it's okay. I'm not a nice guy. I mean,
Kermit, there is one thing that I actually wanted to say when you were talking about South Park and everything, that Salty actually softened over the years that I'm following him on his channel.
What's that?
You were more edgy, and you didn't censor certain words, and you definitely changed your vocabulary over the years.
Well, I'll say this. There's some truth.
Everyone changes.
Well, no, and maybe I haven't said it explicitly in front of you, Joseph, but I have said it a couple of times on the channel, which is that I felt like some of the things that I have done and that I've endorsed in the past, I disagree with at this point. That I think that I've taken things too far in the past, that I have gone along with things that I disagree with. And, like, for example, my opinions on the Fandom Menace. A couple of years ago, I would have been proud to have been called a member of the Fandom Menace.
But that's okay. That's
some
okay
of their channels.
Well, hold on. But we're talking about this specifically. So, and so I'm trying to basically, and I've always said I want the channel to be basically about a PG-13 level. Like, I've never been the type to drop F-bombs and that kind of thing.
Right.
But you are not using them anymore, and you are beeping them out, in your videos.
I've always beeped them out.
Yeah, always. You always beep them out, but you are not using them at all. That's for example, a big change. Or you minimized it, because just remember when you were talking about certain episodes of Trek, and you were
believe me,
criticizing Jerry Taylor,
or your letter to YouTube.
Right. Oh, I will tell you this, that okay, so I would, because, and this is the problem, is that, like, when I would criticize someone like Jerry Taylor or Ryan Johnson or something like that, it's not the use of the F word that I would be that would be softening at this point. That's not the problem. It's not the language. It's the making it personal.
Yes.
Okay, that's where I'm drawing the line now. It has nothing to do with the F word, except, sure, the F word I still think is kind of crass, and I would still bleep it out if I found a circumstance. Like, for example, if I was reviewing, say, "And the Children Shall Lead," we'll take an episode that I absolutely can't stand, right? And I was doing something like, "Oh yeah, here's an episode where a bunch of prepubescent kids take over the Enterprise. Oh, F you," and I'd bleep it out, right? So I might do something like that, but I'm not going to say F and the name of the writer of the episode or something. I'm not going to make it a personal attack anymore.
Yeah, and this is exactly what why I understand that you removed certain videos on your channel.
Yes, because I did do a lot of personal attacks.
Yeah, but there are still a bunch of videos that I would love to see back, and I know that I'm nagging.
I know, but I appreciate you nagging about it, because it's something that I honestly.
You do?
No, you know what? Yes, I do, because people like Joseph, I appreciate that, because one of the things I do want to do is, I haven't deleted any of those videos.
They are still.
They're all just made private. I did not. I didn't delete them, and I didn't delete them on purpose, because I want to go back and go through them, and basically. The ones that I do feel, okay, I don't have any personal attacks in this, and I think this is still, anything that's not, shall we say, what's the right word? I'm trying to think, like, what's the word for something that's dated, right? If it's not like, oh well, this really is only relevant in 2018 or something. If it's something that, okay, this has to do with Trek as a whole, but it's not specific to 2019 or whatever, then I'll repost it. And that is something I plan to do. It's just, honestly, this year specifically, everything has been about getting my health care in line. And right now it's, my big focus is what are we going to do as far as my permanent housing situation. Once we have those things squared away, then yes, I absolutely am going to be doing that, because I think there's some really good videos in there. I agree. I think there's some good stuff. And
the Borg series.
I absolutely want to redo the Borg series. I want to redo the Borg series.
Why would you redo it? It's perfection.
Wow.
It's literally the videos are perfection, and there is.
When I say maybe redo isn't the right word. Maybe kind of remaster.
Update.
Is a bit like, look at the ones that are there. And okay, like most of the ones that are there, good, and then continue on the series to its natural conclusion, because obviously it stopped. Like, I know I got through First Contact.
What about Reboot?
And you did as well Borg videos. You did as well Voyager videos.
Right. I don't think I finished Voyager though. Right.
But you didn't finish Voyager.
Right. What's that?
What are you trying to do on this anyway?
Well, with
the sword.
What am I trying to do? Well, we're turning the sword into a lightsaber. And so, which means that every single frame that the sword, and we have to do the whole thing with Kirk's sword, which is what I'm doing right now. Then we have to go back and redo the whole thing with Kang's sword. But yeah, that
sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and that's why I'm doing it while we're talking. If I was,
you're very creative. You know that.
I wouldn't say that. This is not particularly creative.
You're more creative than me, I should say.
I'm doing this right now because I still can't, and I'll tell you, this is actually. I mean, this is taking a ridiculously long time. I should be done with this, but my manual dexterity is so bad that even though the mouse that I have is really good, and the monitor that I have is I'm literally doing this on a 42-inch screen. This should be so fast, but I'm just going.
By the way, did you try to do it with a pen and a tablet, basically, like the graphic tablet?
I would love to if I could afford the kind of tablet and everything that.
Professor's in the background, backstage.
Oh, thank you. If I could afford the kind of tablet that for doing this kind of work, I would love to try that, but I don't have the money for it.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, Professor, good to see you,
Professor.
and thank you again, Joseph, for pointing that out to me because I'm not very good at seeing the chat.
Bird has to go.
It wasn't me.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that either.
That was me.
But before he goes, I have a proposition for both of you.
Yes.
Actually, two of them.
A proposition.
Yes, we would like to have both of you on a Question of Trek on December 19th.
December 19th.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Sunday.
Head to head.
I know it's always a
Kuroga
Sunday.
Kuroga versus Kurdistan.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already talked to Bird a little bit about this. History with R&R would like to have both of you on December the 27th. History of Kurdistan, history of Kuroga.
So, what, like the history of the war of Kurdistan versus Kuroga?
Yeah, that too.
That could actually be fun. So a fictional account of.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
you know, it's
That
between
might
two
be
major.
fun.
It's between two major holidays, so
Yeah.
we just thought we'd have a little fun and have you both on talking about your countries.
Let's see, that's December. You said so. It's December 19th, and then December 20th.
27th.
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 So the week after.
Yeah, the Monday between Christmas and New Year's.
That might be fun, actually.
That would be cool. You could
Put a link on your channel. Why not put the video on your channel, Salty?
Well, it'll be on History with R&R. That's their channel. That's.
I
mean, link it.
Oh yeah,
on
obviously.
the next live stream or a live stream.
Oh yeah, we'll link it.
Everybody should be actually subscribed to History with R&R and to Question of Trek.
Yeah, if you don't mind, put the link.
I'm subscribed to too many channels. I might watch it though.
I'm subscribed to Question Trek, but what's the R&R?
It's a history channel. We talk about events in history.
John DeMarco is putting the channels
right up my alley. I'll subscribe to that.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, John's putting the channels in the chat right now, so be sure
I was
to.
just about to do that, but he beat me to it.
Yeah.
John is the research
I'm not going
master.
to subscribe to those channels. I'm not going to subscribe because I'm already a subscriber.
Well, subscribe again.
Yeah,
Listen.
really. What's your problem, man?
I'll subscribe to you, R&R.
Hey, Trustin, you have a good one, buddy. Yeah, so definitely check out. But now, History with R&R is a more serious channel. Question of Trek is just for fun. But absolutely, you should check out both channels.
So, Bird, what do you think? You haven't said much.
Yeah, I can be there.
That's awesome. Thank you.
What do you talk about on Question of Trek?
It's a quiz show.
It's a game
quiz show.
It's a game show. It's basically it's a game show called Question of Trek.
Okay. That saves
Star
me
Trek
time.
Yeah.
Star Trek trivia.
Yeah, and it's
I'm not into trivia. Sorry.
and they ask some pretty tough
Sure, you're a
questions. I will tell you.
I'm sure you're a lovely channel, but
yeah, Bird will win. I have no doubt. Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Conti is out to get me.
Well, Conti may be out to get you, but I mean, man, especially that blurred picture category.
Well, there's only one per team on that, so it's not like it's a huge.
By the way, Professor, those pictures, it's like I'm
so
sorry, they are
unfair.
becoming more and more ridiculous.
Yeah. Here's one
I
picture.
would agree with you on the last episode. They were both ridiculous. And I have nothing to do with those pictures. Conti comes up with those.
Yeah, I know, but
I thought you
I
guys
don't even
only used
see
Group
them.
Track in those. Not.
Are you seeing what Kronos is saying in the chat?
Wear a glove with lube. Strike that. Giggity. Bird is awake.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll tell you, if you watch Question of Truck, wear a glove with lube. That's basically, yeah. You feel like he should have, because man, I tell you, some of that stuff, he's just like, really, where did he get those? And the questions can be like, okay, so when Dr. Crusher was having sex with the ghost, what was her cabin number in that episode? It's like, what? I don't know.
Does it? I don't care.
Normally get that stuff.
No.
And then he'll go to the other team and say, so, what was Dr. Crusher's son's first name? It's like, seriously?
Oh, really? Come on.
That's the easiest thing.
Yes, they would. They have done that.
Not that.
Even I know that name.
Not that easy.
Yeah.
Okay, but now I do got to get going.
Ask one team.
Bird.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Take
And
it
happy
easy, Bird.
Thanksgiving to Mama
Happy
Pray.
Thanksgiving, Bird.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Mama pray.
We'll let her know.
Jill $1.
Happy
Why aren't
Thanksgiving
you
to
at
all
work,
of
Jeffrey?
you.
I'm sick of you
Mrs.
skipping.
Salty.
Take care.
Puka.
So I got
Whatever
a $1 donation from Jill, who said, "Why aren't you at work, Jeffrey? I'm sick of you skipping."
Kronos just said.
Gee, I wonder who that would be. Thomas? Thomas, do you have any idea who that might be?
No.
Salty.
Yes, sir.
Chrono just said Crusher's the worst doctor.
Well, yeah, I agree.
How is that?
Because she's more worried about being nice than being a good doctor. Polanski is a better doctor.
I guess that's fair.
On the Enterprise D, Pulaski was the best doctor.
I disagree. Dr. Solar is the best doctor.
Agreed.
I said Pulaski is a better doctor. I didn't say she was the best doctor.
Oh, hey.
You know who
Dr. Solar's the best looking doctor.
I'm not rating them by how good they look. That's not, boy, what kind of people are you?
Superficial?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
I don't know these people.
I
don't know what they're going on about.
News.
And Donnie, I'm sorry, Beverly Crusher is among the worst Trek characters. I mean, don't lecture me about the Prime Directive. Why not? It's the Prime freaking Directive. You could get the entire crew locked up for life because you're not caring about the Prime Directive. Oh, don't you lecture me about the Prime Directive, Jean-Luc.
But the prison isn't that bad.
Oh, well, there's a good reason to ignore it.
Hey, I wouldn't mind going to fucking going to Federation prison.
Great.
Jeez,
so since
you
Federation
guys are just jealous. She was she shared a lover with her grandmother.
Remember the
yeah, there's a good reason to like.
You just had to go there.
From what's his name from the Federation prison? That was a resort, not a prison.
Just because it didn't seem that bad doesn't mean that it's preferable to being free. It's not like Tom Paris could leave New Zealand.
Well, at least he wasn't stuck in Australia. I mean, good God, at least New Zealand isn't as horrible as that. But Joseph? No, that's just gross.
They went to, but
those are facts.
Or would they put him in a Klingon prison?
I agree.
I missed something. What was gross?
Did I say that you're just jealous because Beverly shared a lover with her grandmother?
Oh my goodness. Joseph, really? No.
Yes.
Not at the same time.
Let's not go there.
Well, it is technically
Thank you
true,
very much.
It is technically correct, but yes.
which is the best kind of correct.
Thomas says that he called and told Jill where to find me. Jill is my, well, she's the director of the library, so.
But isn't the library closed for Thanksgiving?
Well, yes, it is. But,
well, then
Thomas thinks I'm skipping.
The worst part of Tom Paris's punishment, though, was he was creating sets for the next Lord of the Rings movie.
Lord of the Rings 10,000.
Well, I would still just as soon not be in prison. You know, to just...
But you think about it, that prison was probably nice.
I don't care. I don't want to be in prison. See, I understand that you think...
But you want to hear some good news?
Not if that news has anything to do with prison being nice.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to Florida next month.
Okay.
Nice. What are you going to do?
For Christmas.
You gonna go
see the relatives.
You gonna go to prison?
But it's Florida prison. It's not that bad.
I'm not planning on it, but never say never.
Well, you know.
Well, I didn't plan on going to jail, but
Kermit, I just don't want to read. I just don't want to read somewhere on the internet that a Florida man did something.
How's prison in Slovakia?
Does everybody know about Florida Man Game, where you type in your Florida Man and the date of your birth, and then read the headline for that day?
No.
Mine is Florida Man fails to make it to the Bahamas in a hamster wheel.
Wait.
But
what?
Mine was Florida man tried wrestling in or something.
So, Salty, type in Florida Man.
I've never looked it up.
Type in your birthday and read the news headline for that day.
So, Florida Man.
I'm not typing my birth date in for anything.
And
but I'm not
birthday.
I'm not,
yeah.
Yeah, don't put your year, just put the day.
Salty. I'm not planning on going to prison, but anything can happen, I suppose.
Yeah, it could be wrestling an alligator.
Florida man accused of stealing samurai sword.
That's not very good. Actually, that's one of the more
That sounds very plausible.
Oh, there's more to it. Florida man accused of stealing samurai sword. Truck arrested after leaving cell phone at crime scene. So he stole a samurai sword. He left his cell phone at the crime scene, so they arrested him.
Okay, mine. Florida man worried about vampires intentionally burns down his home.
Really? Wow. Let's check out my life.
Let's see.
Can someone look up December 5th for me?
No,
cooking dumplings?
Let's see. So. Oh, wow. So my wife has a really good one. Florida man robs store dressed as Spider-Man.
Yeah. Hey, look up December 5th for me. I'm busy making dumplings.
December 5th?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, mine is a Florida man was arrested for trying to drive a hamster ball to the Bahamas. Talking about one of those inflatable exercise balls that you go down the hill with.
Yeah.
And he had to be rescued
All
by
right,
the
so you are Florida man abandoned child on roadside because he thought boy might be gay. Well, that sounds like you, all right.
Okay.
I'm not anti-gay.
I have a good one. Florida man hits pregnant girlfriend with bag of tortilla chips.
Well, that sounds Slovakian.
Yeah, nothing about that
does
sounds Slovakian.
No, that sounds like a Slovakian crime. Hit someone with a bag of tortilla chips.
Tortillas are typical Slovak food, right?
That's right.
Just replace the tortilla chips with goat milk.
Man on scooter killed in collision with deer on US 1 in Oak Hill.
Let's see. I had an ex-girlfriend. Let's see. Hers
Rattlesnake carrying Florida man claims to be agent of God.
So my
Florida
girlfriend
man throws pizza slice at mom.
How many birthdays do you have?
I'm just amused by all the.
Well, hold
the
on.
first one I mentioned. I'm just amused by all this shit.
So my girlfriend, who used to edit Star Trek for the local TV station, hers is Florida man caught while stealing mail from mailbox and attacked homeowner.
Wow, she's quite the peach.
Well, I mean, she was quite the peach. Yes, she was. Florida man isn't so good.
Okay, that was amusing.
So I've never heard of the Florida Man game, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was amusing.
So
I have other.
Oh, let me check. Let's see. I didn't check my son. Let's see.
I'll be right back.
All right. So for my son.
Can't you have him do this? Stop what you're doing right here on.
A Florida man wanted to go to Hooters so badly that authorities say he told 911 dispatchers he needed a ride to the restaurant because his grandmother had just suffered a stroke in the parking lot. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Why are people so stupid in Florida?
Might be the weather.
And my daughter. Let's see. Unknown.
One of them, Florida man, was attacked by a squirrel raised by his neighbor.
Okay. So. Okay. Well, my daughter, so since it's my daughter, I put Florida woman. Florida woman drops pants, licks man, dances naked in Waffle House parking lot.
Oh, Lord.
There you go.
This is getting out of hand.
No kidding.
And you know, they have her mugshot here, and I will tell you, you do not want her licking you. just here.
She has all the diseases.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure she does. Let's see, man. There you go. There's her mugshot.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has all the diseases.
Oh my God.
So yeah, no, thank you.
Was her last name Burns?
No, last name O'Prey.
No, they have that in the Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns goes to the clinic there. They ask him to test him for every disease on the chart, and he comes back. He has every disease that ever existed, all stuck, like trying to go through at once.
She's probably not one of the cuddlers.
Yeah,
I
think she was. I think you know what? That's the woman that was dancing with him in that video. That's what ended up happening.
You don't want. She's just not the kind of woman you want to cuddle.
And that's what happens when you're exposed to Bird of Prey 5. You know, you end up looking like her.
And hey, Dr. Alex, hope you are well on this Thanksgiving Day. Or sorry, hello, Dr. Alex. So
Thanksgiving for Dr. Alex.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Dr. Alex is in the house. Watch out.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Alex doesn't have Thanksgiving because he's English and therefore not thankful for anything.
Wow.
Well, just being honest.
He does have a TARDIS.
I'm not sure if the Native Americans in the United States are celebrating Thanksgiving.
I'm going over to a neighbor's house.
Can we be thankful for not being British no more?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, Dr. Alex, we are very thankful that we won the war. That's right, buddy. We won the war. In fact, you know what's funny is that England, while, yeah, you guys had a mighty empire for a while, but then you started a pretty bad losing streak. And the current map of the globe kind of proves that you had a pretty bad losing streak because a whole lot of British colonies are no longer British colonies. Just saying. You guys kind of suck. But hey, Dr. Alex, it's good to see you. And I'm sorry to hear that Virgin cut your cable.
One day.
Salty. On the other hand, yeah, the United States is part of a continent, but the British still rule, I think, over one whole continent in the southern hemisphere.
What continent is that?
Australia.
No, because Australia is independent. They're sovereign.
I know, but I don't know.
You try telling an Aussie to subjugate themselves to the royal crown and see how well that works.
They'll laugh at best. They'll laugh at you.
Yeah. War of 1812. Do you really think? Yeah, come on, buddy. Come on. You keep on trying.
I'm just trying to be on the side of the European guy, despite they left the EU, and now we have to pay for our roads by ourselves.
Yep. We also got our ass kicked by Canada a few times.
We did?
Yeah, but we didn't
America
really try
did, yes.
Did we even try in those wars, though?
I have no idea.
I'm just saying, you want to talk.
I don't even know if they're
now. Not being a historian, but now, Professor Brainy Specs.
Yes, sir.
You are something of a historian. So the War of 1812. What do you know about it?
Well, technically, there wasn't any winner.
Okay.
But if there was,
it seems like Dr. Alex is trying to claim victory.
If there was anything close to a winner, I would give it to the English and the Canadians. They just got tired and left.
Okay. So who? Wait. Because hold on. Because I genuinely don't know much about it. So who was the war in between? It was between the British and the Canadians and us?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And what was it over?
Sailors getting kidnapped at sea, right?
Hold on, Kermit. So what were they fighting over?
That I'd have to look up because I have.
I think British wanted to take back the colonies, wasn't it?
No, they were kidnapping
and hey,
sailors
Piano
at
Dean,
sea.
good to see you, buddy.
That is why.
Sophie, I'm surprised you don't know. I mean, you were around back then.
That is why the U.S. Navy was formed, because
Salty.
Yeah, but they didn't have fact checkers.
Well, I just genuinely don't know. That's why I'm learning from you guys.
One of the thing I think one of the causes was they were kidnapping our sailors at sea and pressing them into the English Navy.
We set fire to the White House, which is why it is now white. Oh, so what? It was the Black House before?
Wow.
I mean, what? Is that what you're saying?
The only reason the British retreated in that battle is because there was a thunderstorm and a tornado.
Okay. Okay, so wait. So you were defeated by the weather, and you're claiming victory.
Yeah. No. Well,
just the battle in D.C.
Right.
There wasn't even a hurricane. Come on.
Yeah. Salty.
No, I said tornado, not hurricane. There's a difference.
Yeah, I know. Hurricanes are bigger.
Yeah.
Much bigger.
I know why I went to war.
So what were you starting to say, Gorilla?
Well, the war was caused because of trade disputes and us expanding our territory out west.
Okay.
Was the cause of it.
So the British wait. So if it was over trade disputes and us expanding west, for the British to win, they would have needed to stop us from expanding out west and win the trade disputes. Now we obviously did continue to expand west. And what happened with the trade disputes?
I don't know.
I mean, so let's say the trade disputes went the British way, then at best it would be a draw because we did expand west. Obviously.
Until we couldn't expand west any further.
Right, but we took the entire, we went all the way to the west coast. And obviously the Brits took nothing since they're not here. Yeah. Newsflash, Dr. Alex, you ain't in this hemisphere. I mean, Canada doesn't count. Even if you did have Canada.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. First of all, even if Canada was still theirs, what? So they have moose meat and maple syrup.
So Vector 1 says conflict fought between U.S. and Great Britain over British violation of U.S. maritime rights. Okay. And John DeMarco agrees with Kermit. The taking of sailors, capture of sailors by the British was one of the inciting factors.
Right.
It was. Yeah.
So basically, since the Brits were dicks, is really what it sounds like, and so that's a good reason to go to war. So the Brits were jerks, and so we went to war. And the end result, we're still here.
Yeah, exactly. And Vector 1, you're right. We are, Great Britain and the U.S. are the best of allies.
Yes. But I'm just pointing out, we are still here. They are not.
We won twice, essentially.
Okay, they do have the UK Virgin Islands. I'll give you that. They do have, which do border the US Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
So let's start a new war there. Let's invade. Let's have a ground war in the Virgin Islands.
The sad part is Biden probably would.
Thomas, they do have Bermuda, which, as in the U.S. Navy, I visited there 6 times as part of the U.S. Navy.
Well, did the U.S. Navy go through the triangle, or did they go around the triangle?
Oh, we went through the triangle all the time.
Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle is a complete myth, by the way. So
it's just there's a lot of hurricanes there.
Yeah.
It's not so much the hurricanes; it's just the turbulent weather in general that you can have down in that area.
Yeah, I mean, the Gulf of Mexico is so strong that when we entered it, we would have to, heading back to home, we would have to steer south to move west. Because you would just be pushed, it just pushes the ship northwards. It's so strong. I mean, my ship was small, being a frigate, it was only 450 feet long.
I'm sure bigger ships are fine.
But I do think the Virgin Islands is the only place where the United States Army could invade Great Britain from the United States without, and just directly. So
I'll say this about the Bermuda Triangle. There is one documented case that is very odd where a plane was traveling between 2 points within the triangle and got to its destination way ahead of what it should have been. Like a third of the time it was possible for that plane to traverse the distance. And it did travel through some sort of odd tunnel on its way there.
I've heard that story.
Yeah. It's a documented true story.
So they sure no one was on. Everyone involved wasn't on drugs.
No. Han Solo told that story.
Yeah, he made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
That's right.
Are we sure everyone involved wasn't on drugs?
Hey.
Well, is it possible that he was caught? If it was an aircraft, is it possible that he was caught in some kind of wind vortex that pulled him or pushed him
The plane would have been shredded to bits if that was the case.
Not necessarily. If it was just under the perfect
It couldn't handle the stress.
If the
I vote everyone involved was on drugs.
Well,
including the people at the airports.
Yeah, the problem is, if
towers.
If the instruments on the plane registered the arrival and everything ahead of schedule, you can't. Drugs don't do that. I get what they're doing.
Okay, then.
Right.
That's it. I withdraw my claim.
Right.
Cinnabon, you're right. I'm covering up as a Navy man. I'm covering up aliens. That's correct.
Yes.
It was the Empire of what? Not to be confused with the Empire of Hay. And for anybody that actually gets that reference, you get 1,000 nerd points. We'll see if anybody out there understands that reference.
Can we add it to our Gem Nerdy score next time?
Huh? If you actually get that reference in the next 30 seconds, then yes. But if you're Googling it right now, then no.
Hey Andy, since you're a Navy man, did you ever read the story of what's the laziest thing you've ever done?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Since you're a Navy man, you'll appreciate this story. Have you ever read the story, what's the laziest thing you ever done?
Oh no, I haven't read that.
Yeah, there's I can't remember what his rank was, but he went to sit down in the mess there. He sat down in the one spot there that had the sunlight shining through the porthole, through the window. So instead of moving his chair and moved to a different spot, he called up to the bridge, had him adjust his ship's heading by 15 degrees so that the sun wouldn't be in his face.
Just to be a douche?
That's funny. It must have been the captain or the XO.
Yeah, it was someone high up. I don't think it was the captain of the boat, but someone high up that had to do that.
So nobody's going to get that reference, really. Wow.
You got me on that one. I'm scratching my head. I'm usually with you on that.
I've read creepy stories at sea on Reddit.
Leighton.
I don't believe any of them, but they're interesting.
Yes. I knew you'd appreciate that one, Andy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sailors can be pretty. Sailors are laid back. That's what I'll say about sailors. When you're out to sea, it can get pretty casual.
So these are the Hays.
Casual?
No, not with old dudes. No.
So it's these are this is the Empire of the Hays, by the way.
Oh, nice.
They
What the heck is that from?
And then it's from the Tick.
The Tick?
Yeah. And so the Hays' most powerful weapon is the Infinity Ball. This is the Infinity Ball. It just happens to look like an 8-ball on its side. And when the infinity ball hits the tick, it just bounces off of them. And so the Hays immediately begin to worship the tick. Because it's literally just an 8-ball. And so, but it's their most powerful weapon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, did it conjure it up?
Hold on a sec. What?
Oh.
Wait, did it conjure it up, or did it?
In an hour?
Did they
Okay.
shoot it out?
What's that? What was that?
Where do they get this infinity ball? Do they conjure it up, or do they shoot it?
They fire it at the at them. And then this guy is from the Empire of the What's. And the reason they're called the What's and the Hays is because the What's, their entire language is the word what, and the Hays, their entire language is the word hey. So they just go what.
That's something.
And then the Hays, of course, say hey. So
That's something. I'll give you that.
yeah. So yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Yeah, it's the episode, and The Tick, by the way, is currently streaming on. Is it Hulu? Yeah, Hulu. And the episode is called The Tick versus the Big Nothing. It's really funny. So
I'll watch it maybe one day.
Yeah, so the Tick gets abducted by aliens, and when Arthur wakes up, the Tick is like, "Hey, Arthur, this is so cool! I'm getting abducted by aliens." I mean, it's just like, but yeah.
Okay, Thomas, we'll see you later, buddy.
Tom's taking off.
He's got to get ready for work.
Really? You got to go to work on Thanksgiving? Why are you laughing, man? That's not funny. That's
Thomas, this would have been a perfect opportunity for you to come on the stream.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I am sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, apparently I'm skipping, according to Thomas.
Yeah.
Skipping, like physically skipping, like you're
skipping work.
Oh, I see.
And Dr. Alex says, today the engineer finally visited and I saw I was entirely correct. I'm not sure.
Take care, Thomas.
I must have missed something. Oh, something.
Take care, Thomas.
Something about his lines. Oh, the Virgin Media thing. Well, here's the problem, Dr. Alex, is that you have Virgin Media in your area. I mean, that should say something right there. I mean, granted, you're in England. What more do you want? It's been 13 years since I had a day off on Thanksgiving. That sucks, man. I am sorry. Although I will admit that I used to love working on Thanksgiving when I was in the call center.
Why?
Well, honestly, because they brought full-on Thanksgiving dinner with all the trimmings to the call center.
Well, I just figured it's because no one called.
Well, it was generally slow, but they also, they brought everything. They brought whole turkeys. They brought stuffing, mashed potatoes, pumpkin and apple pie. They brought everything.
Wow.
Oh, dang it, that's what I was forgetting.
And they spared no expense. This was not the cheap stuff. They got really good food. And they literally started serving it right when we opened the call center, and they kept the food fresh the whole day. And they basically said, when you came into work, they're like, grab a plate, you kept it at your desk, and you were eating your whole shift. And then when you finished your shift, you went home and you had Thanksgiving dinner. It was awesome.
Well, I miss working in the restaurant there. I used to have to work every Thanksgiving, and because I was their favorite dishwasher, there's no way I could get out of it.
Right.
Except I only got out of it one time, and that's because they did not call my bluff. I told them don't bother scheduling me because I wouldn't show up. I could get by with that because I've been there for 14 years.
Well, but then think about this. You were also getting paid double time and a half.
No.
Well, no, I'm talking about when I was at the call center. They would pay us double time and a half. We were getting fed, and it was just awesome.
What does that mean?
It means
double time and a half.
It means that if you were making $10 an hour, then you were getting paid $25 an hour, because you were getting paid double time and a half.
Wow, that's decent.
Yes. And so, and that's not, there's no legal requirement to do that. I mean,
Nope.
because the law does not say you have to get holiday pay or anything like that. The only thing the law says is that if you're over 40 hours, you have to get, overtime pay. But the way that that Verizon did it is that if you work on a holiday, you automatically get time and a half, and no matter what, you get 8 hours of holiday pay, which means that if you work 4 hours that day, you get time and a half for the 4 hours plus 8 hours of holiday pay. And so you get 8 hours of straight time plus your time and a half for the 4 hours you work. If you get the day off, you just get 8 hours of straight pay. So, it's really nice. And they were very generous with that. I got us,
It sounds really nice.
Yeah. The company, Verizon Wireless, has their issues, the things that I don't like about the company, mostly falling into the category of wokeness. But I will tell you that as far as the way that the company treats their employees, I've never worked for a company that had a better compensation package. Granted, they could pay us more money, but the fact that, just thinking about the fact that I have health care for life, even though I'm unemployed, is insane. I still can't believe that one.
I didn't know call centers actually opened and closed.
Oh yeah, Verizon has never had 24/7. I should say Verizon Wireless has never had 24/7 call centers. Verizon proper, like Verizon Landline, which is a different company, by the way, and a lot of people don't realize that, because Verizon and Verizon Wireless are technically two separate companies. They're both under the parent company of Verizon. It's weird, corporate structure is weird, but
they usually are.
Yeah, but Verizon Wireless has always been about taking care of its employees and not overworking them. And that we've been and by the way, part of the reason that there's never been a movement to unionize is because they treat their employees very well. Their call centers close at 9 p.m. And they open at 6 a.m. So and so you don't have people working all hours, and you don't have people working at 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. You don't have people working graveyard shifts, basically.
None of their call centers have that?
Nope. After hours, we do have contract call centers that take limited amounts of calls, but as far as Verizon
and there's probably limited stuff they can do.
Right, but as far as Verizon employees, they do not work after hours. The company believes that the employees shouldn't have to work those hours, and I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. We do, however, keep a skeleton crew on all holidays but the one day that it's basically there's a couple of days that all hands on deck, which all you Navy guys will appreciate that expression. And all hands on deck days include Black Friday. You cannot take Black Friday off if you are a Verizon Wireless employee.
Well, if you're sick, like legit sick.
You can call in sick, because there's no day that you can't call in sick. However, if you call in sick on the day immediately before or the day immediately after a paid holiday, you do not get your holiday pay.
Oh, that's okay. That's like our last show.
That's how they make sure that you're not trying to scam for the holiday. And so if you're legit sick, then you're going to lose you're going to lose your holiday pay for Thanksgiving. But you can still use a sick day for Thanksgiving as well. So if you are genuinely sick, then that's different. And if you get something like COVID, you get 2 weeks off automatic anyway. And all you got to do is show a positive COVID test, and they will give you 2 weeks. And that
paid?
Yes, you get 2 weeks paid leave time, and, it doesn't count against your sick time.
Yeah, our company, when we had 4 people get COVID there, they shut down for 3 weeks there, but we all got paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also did half shifts for three weeks there, where I had the afternoon shift.
Well, for us, like COVID, since everybody works from
now.
All right, you have a good one then, buddy.
Bye,
Kermit. It's nice talking to you all.
Yeah, have a good day, Kermit. But yeah, for COVID, since most of us were already working from home even before COVID, well, actually, I shouldn't say most of us. Customer service, we had I think it was about 25% of our customer service operation was from home. When COVID hit, we moved that 25% to 100% in 2 weeks' time. But part of the reason for I was part of the work from home basis from phase 1. I was working from home for about a year and a half before COVID. And part of the reason for the work from home program was in case of an emergency, like if a call center was ever hit by lightning or an earthquake or something, to test, could we get people to work from home safely? Could it be secure? That kind of thing. And so we stockpiled the equipment necessary in regional offices in case we ever needed to quickly deploy a call center to be able to work from home. We just weren't expecting to have to do it for everybody. But we managed in 2 weeks' time to get our entire customer service apparatus working from home. And fortunately, we had it all in place. I have friends that work for some of our competitors that even to this day are not at 100% capacity because they weren't prepared for COVID.
Yeah. Do you think that'll become like a permanent thing for a lot of businesses that did that?
I know for Verizon it is. There's no intention of reopening the call centers. Not for customer service. For other departments, they are already gradually moving them back. I'm not going to give proprietary company information.
No, it's just basic.
But for non-customer service functions that did move to home, they are already in the process of moving back to the call centers. But for customer service, they're staying home permanent. Because that was already, it's a win-win because it's less overhead for the company to not have to pay for all the upkeep of a large call center. Like here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where our call center is, the call center was literally a rehabbed shopping mall, like a mall that went out of business. We bought the facility and turned it into a call center. It's that big.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. It's literally a mall that we turned into a call center. So imagine the overhead of keeping that building, just the lights and the heat and all that, right? So that expense is gone. And then we turn that into, basically the individual people. Yes, it means that you might have a slightly higher electric bill at home, but which you might think, well, that's not fair. I have to pay, $10 more a month on my electric bill, but I'm not driving to work.
Yep.
And so I'm saving money. And so it's a win-win. The company pays less and you pay less. It's greener overall. And and the company, by the way, gives everybody in all that savings on the money, the company gives every single employee a really nice high-end desk that raises and lowers so you can stand at your workstation, really.
Oh, nice.
We're talking quality equipment. and so that you can set up. The only and you know, they do have certain requirements that you have to have. You have to have a room that has a door that shuts. You have to have it so that people can't see your computer screens, and you have to have a high-speed internet connection. You know, but as long as you can meet those base level requirements, bam, you're set. And then we still maintain small call centers for the existing employees that can't meet those base requirements. And then, but once those people phase out, we won't replace them, and all new hires work from home. And so it'll just be a job requirement for new hires. Do you have a room where you can do this, where you will not be interrupted for 8 hours a day? You know, which means if you have kids, you know, you have to treat it like a job. You do not watch your kids during your work shift. You know,
Right.
So this is not, oh, you're going to, you know, be feeding the kids and playing games with the kids in between calls. You know, you treat this like it's a real job. You do not, you know, if you have a pet, officially, your pet is not in the room with you. Now, we all know full well that, like, for example, T'Pring's been sitting in my lap during this whole conversation, and she's a quiet dog. So do we care about that? Honestly, no. Everybody turns a blind eye to it. However, if you have a noisy dog, that dog is out of the room. You know, so stuff like that. But it's a really good program, and I hope that other companies learn from how well Verizon has done it. Because
we're doing it as well, by the way.
Huh?
We are doing it as well.
Yeah, well, I figure you guys, because I know you've been working from home for a long time.
I'm working from home like I will start in February my 7th year of working from home, and actually when this whole pandemic thing started.
Yeah, you were like, hold my beer. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is that actually we have it's only me, my wife, and the whole animals. No goats.
The goats and the sheep.
I had to say it before you jumped in.
Well, sheep can get kind of noisy. I mean, I'm speaking from personal experience.
Wow.
I raised sheep when I was a kid. You didn't know that?
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, you mentioned it, and I watched Silence of the Lambs here as well, so I know. And what the company did, and just to put in perspective, the company gave us, even to me, they gave €400 for equipment, buying a desk and a chair. And 400 you could buy actually my wife bought for her home office as well one of those desks that go up and down. Yes. IKEA, but it works just like a charm. You can basically I'm a 6.6 and I can stand at the desk without bending my back, so it goes really high,
right?
And that's the nice thing, that the company gave us that money. And the moment I signed the home office contract, they are paying me additionally, just as a compensation that I'm not going to the office, they are paying me €40 a month. They are just giving me and it's basically just literally covering
like an internet stipend and
internet, electricity, and flushing the toilet. You know.
Oh, that's nice.
So which is nice, and exactly the same thing as you mentioned. I would have to drive something like 100 kilometers a day. So let's say, I don't know, 65 miles there and back.
Yeah, 62 miles.
Or 62 miles there and back. So I save the gas money as well, and not to mention that the gas here in Europe is way more expensive than in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like 4 times as much in Europe, I think, right?
Not really. It used to be like that. Now gallon is what, 3.8 liters, something like that, and now I pay €1.60 per gallon. Sorry, €1.60 per liter. So calculator.
That's $6.40 a gallon. So it's twice.
About double, yeah.
Twice.
Yeah,
Hey, California
so
rate.
it's definitely on the on the cheap side. So I save that amount of that money
Right.
plus the time, and I'm working with time zones where now during winter, countries that I'm working with, for example, not Qatar, Oman. Oman has plus 3 hours ahead of me, and they have their weekends on Fridays and Saturdays. So basically it cuts down to 4 days a week of the week, plus I need to put in account the hours that I'm losing because of the time zones.
Don't forget, and Joseph, one thing that I think that a lot of people don't think about is how nice it is when, if you're taking a break from work, to get up and go to your own kitchen, get a snack out of your own refrigerator, or to just go sit down and talk to your wife, or to pet your dog, or to sit in your chair, as opposed to, sitting in a break room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I go to the office. Okay, right now not, because once again, yay.
He drives to the office for breaks because he hates his wife.
Guess what country is the number one in mortality per capita? Yeah, it's us. So we are now again on a lockdown, but I used to go to the office like twice a month, 3 times a month, just to like have face-to-face meetings, which is always nice. But actually those days I count as lost in terms of the actual work, because yeah, I can sleep in, I when I start at at 8:30, I can get out of the bed at 8. That's why
you couldn't get out of bed at 8:15.
Yeah, but I want to make the coffee. I want to brush my teeth.
Oh, I got a coffee machine like right there. I'll be logging into work and brewing the coffee at the same time. That's how bad.
Yeah. So I just started a new job about a month ago, and in about 5 months, I'll be able to work from home twice a week.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
I am. Yeah, I really am.
Yeah. It's sad because I was
who's in the backstage.
Oh, I didn't see somebody backstage. Hey, speaking of insanity, how you doing?
Hey,
hi guys, I'm here. I'm in Cuba, still in Cuba.
How you doing? It's Turkey Day, so it wouldn't be Turkey Day without a turkey.
Yeah.
Right.
How's the missus? Almost misses.
Yeah, where is the almost misses?
But she's backstage because she's lightly dressed, so she don't want to be
lightly dressed.
Lightly dressed. Wow, that's a
lightly dressed.
I'm sure that makes it so that nobody wants to see her. Yeah, everybody's like, wait a minute, does that mean what I think it means?
Yes, I think it does.
Not at this point, but lightly.
Well,
so we'll watch a movie soon. But I saw you were live, Michaels. I just like to come back. I'm in Cuba. We just play a game of flying chess, and I won pretty well against her, and she was. But
you're bragging about beating your wife in chess?
Yeah, because it was strip chess. That's why she's lightly dressed.
No. And she won the first one, guys. She won the first one.
Oh, so you're not wearing pants? Is that what you're telling us, Alexander?
If we don't need to see. Yeah, you don't need to show.
Not you, maybe her, but not you.
I showed that I had. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So guys.
Well, when are you guys going to be married now?
On 3 December.
On December 3rd.
That's my birthday.
Oh yeah, so that way you won't forget.
Yes, I will not forget.
You know, you're supposed to get married on her birthday, not on your birthday.
Like she proposed that.
Did she really? Or did you propose
Yes,
it?
because we had the situation to say it was we watched for October, and after that November. Finally, I said it was a question. There was a question of the pandemic and all that stuff, and how to work all the money for that. There was a stability because they were changing the flight. Our flight has been changed 2 times. My flight has been changed 1 time. So the question was to take the safer moment. And I said, we can end of November and beginning of December take 2 weeks. And I said, she said it would be your birthday. You can do that on your birthday. It would be good.
So she's in the room, right?
She's in the room.
Okay, so ask her a question for me.
Yes.
Ask her which is better, sheep or goats?
Sheep or goats?
Yes.
About what? Because sheep.
Which is better? Because we're trying to settle this once and for all.
For what?
For anything. Well, mainly for milk. Oh, who'd we lose? Oh, I think who'd we lose just now? Somebody dropped off.
Indy. I think Indy. I think we lost Indy.
Yeah.
Oh. And is Alexander frozen, or is he just being really still?
Alexander seems to be very still.
He's frozen.
Yeah, I think
frozen.
Frozen. He's either frozen or he's doing a Drax the Destroyer, trying to master the
trying to be invisible.
Yeah. Wow, everybody's just suddenly having problems. Our international internet is just not.
And my wife just pinged me from downstairs that she cannot connect on her notebook. The Wi-Fi doesn't seem to be.
Wow!
Working,
all of a sudden, the world's internet is suddenly dying.
Yeah,
it's a conspiracy. You know, it's all conspiracy.
Yeah, I think so. Is Dr. Alex still in the chat? Did he break?
He left.
It must be those 5G chips in the vaccine, you know.
Oh, that's hey! Don't talk about the vaccine.
They are updating right now, so down.
Oh, they're updating the. Oh, jeez.
Hey, I'll tell you right
You're gonna get me banned. Don't go
hey,
there.
Random Menace.
No, don't. We're not going there with this conversation. Don't even think about it.
Is it another bad topic?
This is a forbidden topic.
Okay, Google overlords, we are just joking if you're listening.
Google doesn't understand that term. they're like, they really, Google does not get it. Man.
Yeah, the bots, they still don't understand sarcasm, I have the feeling.
Yeah. The Google algorithm is taking over today. That's when we are thankful for taking over.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, they've got the artificial parts correct.
Just not the intelligence.
Gotten wrong.
Yeah, the intelligence they haven't quite worked out yet. Just the artificial.
Oh man, it's so funny.
So now, when are you guys supposed to get Disney Plus?
August 2021 was the planned.
No, but I mean, what's the current plan?
Summer 22.
Okay. Because you're missing out on some good stuff.
No, actually, I'm not.
No, actually, you are.
You think?
I do think. Hey, Alexander, you're back.
I'm not missing out, and I'm not paying for it, and I'm not paying for it just because they don't want my money.
So
if
did
they
you
wanted my money, they would be here.
Hey, Alexander, did you ask her?
No, I didn't. Good. She was waiting. We are supposed to watch a movie when I open internet. This is a little bit, sometimes it's a bit unstable. And now I'm on the VPN. I will not stay longer on the VPN in Cuba. But look, we are going to watch a movie. So we'll see. We'll speak later during our time in Cuba. It just happened randomly, and I saw you live, Michael. So I just like to show up a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, it's always good to see you, Alexander, as crazy as you are. Congratulations. I hope that the wedding goes smoothly. And I hope that getting her into Canada goes smoothly, because I know that will be a little bit of a process.
Yes, but what was harder? It was to get the wedding during the pandemic, and now we are going to that.
Right.
We'll succeed that. And already we all set the wedding now, because it was on Tuesday. We had the meeting with the organizer. Everything is great. So,
well, and Joseph is going to send a traditional wedding goat.
No, but I wanted to say something. Скажи, Гюзел, что она очень красивая женщина.
Понял? Будет понял? Повтори, случай.
Гюзел, я сказал, что ты очень красивая женщина.
Спасибо огромное.
Он из Словакии, он учил.
Я говорю немножко по-русски.
Да, акценты.
Позже у тебя есть акценты по-русски.
Ну, я знаю хорошо.
Знаю, да, я тоже меня. Но она очень рада, что ты, это как, мои друзья хорошие, молодцы.
Мы хорошие молодцы. Да.
Ну, прекрасно. Пойдем смотреть кино сейчас.
Я рада, что
Я рада знакомиться. Да. Они все рады познакомиться с тобой.
No idea what they're saying.
It's only I told Giselle that she's a very good looking woman. She's a pretty woman, and
you're in trouble with your wife, you know.
No, why? You can appreciate beauty.
Just be careful. All right.
No, what?
Yeah.
And
you're one lucky man, Alexander. You're one lucky man.
He's definitely going in above his pay grade.
Same as we are.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Same goes for you. Same goes for me.
That is very true.
Yeah. So have a great day, guys. We're watching a movie.
All right, take care, Alexander.
Take care, Alexander.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Anybody wants to come scrub this?
No, it was literally I was scrubbing the bottom of my knowledge of the Russian language there.
You said something like these guys are idiots and
No. Alexander actually said that we are good guys.
I thought you were saying something like, you know, please as condemning the goat.
Oh no. I even don't know how to say goat in Russian. I really don't. Yeah, you know, just to understand, it's over 30 years since I had Russian in school, because it was only like for 4 years, literally a long time ago, in a regime far away.
When you were behind the Iron Curtain?
Behind the Iron Curtain, yeah, exactly.
What was it like back then? That's something I'm curious about. I mean,
there are 2 episodes of History with R&R when I was talking about it, actually.
I mean, because it's funny, because, like, how old are you?
45,
okay.
And I was 14 when the
wall came down?
When the wall came down in Germany, and the Iron Curtain then here in Czechoslovakia,
right.
Then Czechoslovakia, and then all the other countries around us.
I was on the other side of that, And so, like, we saw, oh, look, these people's lives are going to change. And so we were like, oh, that's great. But for us, it wasn't that big a deal other than, hey, isn't that great? You know, and so being on the other side of it, it was just like, it was just on the news, you know? Like when Professor Brady Specs asked me to come on to History of R&R and was asking me to talk about those times, it was like, well, on my side, it was really just seeing it on the news.
Yeah, seeing it on the news. You know what? I know a good comparison how you would probably feel. Just imagine, it would be probably something like winning a lottery. That right now you have the freedom to buy everything, and we had the freedom just to have access to things. I'm not saying necessarily being able to buy everything, but having the option to buy it.
Right.
Yeah. Just imagine that you would have right now the option to buy, I don't know, the best car in the world that would suit your needs, like with everything, you know.
Right.
And it was that kind of feeling that there is the absolute freedom. So
that's just got to be the most incredible thing for you guys, you know.
It was at the time, definitely. Now you know, now we are 30 years later. I'm not saying that we have like the same standards,
right?
Like let's say you have in the United States, or like the folks in Germany have. Definitely not in terms of wages or retirement money or the type of stuff.
But you know what? I would bet you that the people of Slovakia, at least the people your age and older, would probably appreciate what they have a lot more than people in the United States probably do.
Yeah, you know what? There is actually people who are, let's say, at the age of my mother, and my mother is the same age as Bert's mom. So some of the people, the older generation, have something like a nostalgia, because it was a time where, just imagine, there was nothing like unemployment. There was nothing like homelessness. There was nothing like all the negative stuff, because just imagine that
because the evil empire took care of all that.
Yeah, basically yes. You got basically a flat from the state. Like, there you go. Just imagine, my parents divorced, and when my parents divorced in it was 83, I think. I was just a small boy at the time. My mother moved out of the flat because the flat belonged to the military, and my father was in the military. So we had to move out, and we moved over to her parents, and we were there, I think, under 2 months, and then the what is it, like the social workers came over.
And they said, okay, we need to move you to,
and we got a flat. We moved in a flat within like a few months after they visited my grandparents, and my grandparents had a large, big flat, literally 4-bedroom flat, really like old European house, you know, from like the 18th century. So it was huge. And despite that, they moved. They gave us a flat. So
right. And that's like you know, it's funny because I think about while I've been working on this Kirk versus Kang project. You know, as you can see, it's obviously incredibly time consuming, but it's good because it helps me to pass some of the time while I've been waiting for phone calls and testing the medications that I've been taking. And but one of the things that I've done in this last few days is I've rewatched the entire Mandalorian series. And you haven't seen The Mandalorian, I assume.
Yes, I've seen.
Okay, so you watch it on the high seas or something?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They don't want my money.
I know. I'm not judging. But anyway, but one of the things I thought was interesting was that I can't remember the character's name, but the guy that originally commissioned the Mandalorian to capture the child, they had a discussion where he talks to the Mandalorian about the fact that in every measurable sense, life is better under the Empire. That if you look at just, unemployment, crime, general safety, life expectancy, just every measurement you can possibly take, life is better under imperial rule. And the same could be said. And then and it's funny that we're having this conversation now, because then I actually started reminiscing about the old Soviet Union and stuff. And I was wondering if that was true for, the old Soviets. If you could make that argument for the old Soviet bloc countries. Because, under a dictatorship, you have one thing that you absolutely do not have when you have freedom, and that is control. And one thing, and it's like, even when we look at the situation with COVID, the one thing that you can't say about the Chinese knew how to lock it down. They were like, oh, okay, so we got a pandemic going on. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Everybody in the affected area, you are now locked down. And when we say locked down, we literally mean you are going in your house and you are not coming back out. If you come out, we will shoot you on sight. It wasn't a lockdown like we talk. Now there's two of you.
Now it's two of me. Yeah. I don't know. I lost connection.
Did you fight in the Clone Wars? I think you fought in the Clone Wars. Anyway, but the Chinese, when they talked about lockdown, they weren't kidding, right?
No, they were not.
Right? They just said, okay, you go in your house, and if you come out, we shoot you. Right?
What? I was listening to a podcast. A guy who from Slovakia who is living actually in Beijing, and he said that they literally put a tape over your door, and you're not allowed to leave the house.
Right, and it worked. It absolutely worked, because under that kind of strict lockdown, they were able to more or less defeat the virus in a matter of weeks. And then people say, oh, come on, the Chinese, I remember early on when the Chinese numbers just a couple of weeks in just tanked, right? All of a sudden, the Chinese numbers just dropped like a rock, and everybody was saying, oh, the Chinese are lying to us. And it's like, no, they just seriously locked everybody down. Yeah. They just actually locked people down. But what we don't think about is, well, that's the cost, the true cost of freedom, you know?
Definitely.
And what's up? Huh? Okay. But, and so then, and, you talk about like with what happened under the Soviet rule, and then, and you think about, well, that it's funny, because if you're a pure pragmatist, sure, that makes sense, but freedom is that one thing that makes everything, I think, trumps everything else, because look at how people felt just having the option to get whatever they wanted.
You know what? It's something that I spoke as well on the stream on the R&R channel. But my grandfather didn't have the right parents and right background, So despite he was basically an electrician, he had to work as a waiter.
Wow.
And freedom of speech, for example, if you said something against the government,
oh yeah,
you ended up, you became the enemy of state, literally called enemy of state, and you ended up in uranium mines. In the in Czech Republic, there are uranium mines. Pretty much uranium mines, and once you were there, it was basically you were sentenced to death because there were something like 10% of survival rate of everybody who ended there, and those were only political prisoners. It wasn't like you would be there with criminals.
Yeah.
You know, so
right. So obviously, freedom means a lot.
Yeah.
And I do think that, like, if you ultimately ask the question, is freedom worth it? I think the answer is yes.
Yes, always.
But
always.
I do think, though, that it's interesting that you can ask that question, because look at all the stuff you can point to and say, I can see why you could make that argument.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird, but I can actually see where that argument comes from. Anyway, so my lovely wife just came in to announce that the turkey is now officially ready. So
wow, awesome.
So I am going to abandon you guys because my wife and her turkey are more important to me than even you. So I do want to say thank you for hanging out with me. I don't know if anybody else is streaming today. But if anybody is, feel free, because this will be the time to do it. Do you know, Captain, if anybody else is streaming?
The only person I know streaming later is Doomcock at 4 p.m. Central.
Okay, but that's still a couple hours away.
Yep.
All right. So Doomcock in a couple hours. Otherwise, hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoyed just hanging out and shooting the breeze. And as always, thank you to everybody that hung out here, Gorilla, Captain, and Yosef. Yosef, I will be sending you a Christmas sheep. But anyway, guys, so take care of yourselves and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And for you, Yosef, have a wonderful Thursday.
Thank you very much. It's 9 p.m., so Thursday is almost over.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So definitely, thank you very much for having me on the panel, and see you guys around. And take care, everybody in the chat and here on the panel.
Take care.
Right, see everybody.
And hopefully, Amy gets better soon, and next week we'll be able to do the movie night, so you guys can actually see this lightsaber battle in all of its glory next Friday. And by the way, one thing I actually plan on doing, because I've been putting so much work into this one episode, is trying to figure out a way to make it downloadable somewhere so that you guys can like download the episode and actually watch it if you can't watch the movie night, because it's I'm just putting way too much work into this one. But take care, guys, and have a good one.